Welcome to Audiobook Zone 1. Today's message begins with this thought. Your greatest competition isn't the world around you, it's the person staring back at you in the mirror. Every great achievement, every story of success, every transformation in history has one thing in common. It began with a single decision, the decision to change, the decision to rise, the decision to become better than yesterday. And that decision, my friend, begins with you. You see, success isn't something you find. It's not hidden in the world, waiting to be discovered like buried treasure. Success is something you build brick by brick, thought by thought, action by action. It starts from within. It begins the moment you choose to take responsibility for who you are and who you're becoming. Because no matter where you stand today, whether you feel lost, broken, or uncertain, your potential is still alive inside you, waiting to be awakened. Think about it. Every person you admire, the athletes, the innovators, the artists, the leaders, they didn't begin as extraordinary. They began as ordinary people who refused to stay that way. They looked within themselves and said, "I can be more. I will be more." That's where success truly begins, with that powerful realization that you have the ability to shape your own life. But here's the truth that many overlook. Becoming your best self is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up every day with purpose and refusing to settle for less than what you're capable of. It's about knowing that your mindset, your habits, and your choices are the architects of your destiny. Every morning when you wake up, you're handed a blank page. What you write on it through your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, determines the story of your day, and ultimately, the story of your life. The question is, are you writing a story of excuses or a story of excellence? The difference between success and stagnation is not talent, it's consistency. It's the willingness to do the work when nobody is watching. It's waking up early when your body begs for sleep. It's studying, training, or practicing, even when you feel like giving up. That's where greatness is forged, in the quiet moments of discipline, not the loud moments of applause. Becoming your best self means facing your fears instead of running from them. It means acknowledging your flaws, not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. It means being honest with yourself about where you are and brave enough to take the next step toward where you want to be. Because progress requires courage, and courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the determination to keep moving despite it. There will be days when it feels impossible, days when doubt whispers that you're not enough, days when your dreams feel too far away. But remember this, every champion once stood exactly where you are, now unsure, afraid, and uncertain. The only difference is that they decided to keep going. They decided to trust their vision more than their fear. Success is not born from comfort. It's born from challenge. It's built in the moments when you want to quit, but choose to persist. When you stop blaming your circumstances and start building your character. When you stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" That shift in mindset can change everything. If you want to become your best self, you must learn to master your inner world. Because your thoughts create your reality. The moment you start believing that you are capable, worthy, and destined for more, life begins to align with that belief. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's faith in your ability to grow. It's knowing that even if you fall, you'll rise again stronger than before. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. To give your best to the world, you must first give your best to yourself. Nourish your mind with positivity, your body with discipline, and your soul with purpose. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, not those who drain your energy. Learn to let go of what no longer serves you, whether it's toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, or the weight of your past mistakes. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by how you rise after them. Every setback is simply a setup for a greater comeback. Every mistake is a lesson wrapped in disguise. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be authentic. It needs your strength, your vision, your resilience. And here's something powerful to remember. You already have everything you need within you to succeed. The talents, the drive, the creativity, they're all there, waiting to be awakened through action. The problem isn't that you're not capable, it's that you sometimes forget that you are. So take a deep breath and remind yourself you are the author of your own story. No one else can write your chapters for you. You get to decide how this story unfolds. Will it be one of regret and hesitation, or one of courage and transformation? Success starts with the small decisions you make every day. The decision to wake up early, to learn something new, to stay kind even when it's hard, to give your best effort even when no one is watching. These tiny choices, compounded over time, shape the life you live. Your best self isn't waiting for a perfect moment. It's waiting for your commitment. It's waiting for you to say, enough is enough. I will take control of my destiny. And when you make that decision, the universe starts to respond. Opportunities appear. People show up. Doors open. Because life rewards those who dare to take action. If you ever feel lost, remember this simple truth. You don't have to see the entire staircase to take the first step. Just start. Move forward with faith, and the path will reveal itself as you go. Progress may be slow, but every step counts. Keep showing up, keep believing, keep becoming. Because your best self isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey of growth, learning, and self-discovery. It's about becoming a little stronger, a little wiser, a little kinder every single day. It's about leaving behind the version of you that doubts and fears, and embracing the one that dreams and dares. So today, make a promise to yourself. No more waiting for the right moment. No more settling for less. Begin now. Invest in your growth. Chase your dreams. Build your habits. Strengthen your spirit. Because success doesn't start somewhere out there, it starts right here, right now, with you. Your future is being built right now, not by what you plan to do someday, but by what you repeatedly do today. Every small decision, every habit, every choice you make is shaping the person you are becoming. Success is not the result of one monumental act, it's the product of consistent effort, repeated over time. The habits you nurture each day are the quiet architects of your destiny. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Think of your habits as seeds. Each action you take, no matter how small, plants something in the soil of your life. You may not see the results immediately, but over time, those seeds grow into the fruits of your character, your achievements, and your peace of mind. The problem is, most people underestimate the power of small actions. They believe that greatness requires grand gestures, forgetting that consistency beats intensity every time. A single workout won't make you strong, but daily discipline will. One act of focus won't make you successful, but daily dedication will. Your habits determine your direction. They either move you closer to your goals or pull you quietly away from them. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, and effort over excuses, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. The results may not appear immediately, but transformation is taking place beneath the surface. Success is rarely dramatic, it's subtle, built in silence, revealed only through persistence. The greatest achievers in any field understand this truth deeply. They've trained their minds to honor routine, to respect structure, and to show up even when they don't feel like it. They know that consistency compounds. Each day of effort builds upon the last, creating momentum that turns small habits into lasting change. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes automatic. What once required discipline becomes part of who you are. That's the beauty of habit, it turns effort into instinct. But habits don't just shape your actions, they shape your identity. When you commit to positive daily routines, you start to see yourself differently. You begin to identify as someone who follows through, someone who honors commitments, someone who takes pride in progress. That shift in self-perception is powerful because your identity drives your behavior. Once you see yourself as disciplined, motivated, and capable, your actions naturally align with that belief. Developing empowering habits takes patience and persistence. You will face days when you fall short, when old patterns tempt you back, when progress feels invisible. But that's where true growth happens, in those quiet moments of choice. Do you give up because it's hard, or do you keep going because it matters? The answer to that question determines everything. Your habits are the daily expression of your commitment to becoming your best self. They are proof of your priorities, reflections of your mindset, and the foundation of your future. The life you dream of isn't waiting to appear someday. It's being built in every decision you make, every morning you wake up, and every moment you choose to do what others won't. In the end, success is simply the accumulation of small, consistent actions driven by purpose and persistence. And as this message closes, remember this: the greatest project you will ever work on is yourself. You are both the artist and the masterpiece. Keep creating, keep rising, keep becoming. Because the world needs the best version of you, and that version is waiting to be discovered. Success begins with self-awareness, the courage to look within and see yourself with honesty, clarity, and depth. It's easy to chase dreams, set goals, and push forward without ever stopping to ask the most important question: who am I becoming? Before any lasting transformation can occur, you must be willing to meet yourself at your core. Self-awareness is the foundation upon which all growth is built. Without it, you're walking through life blindfolded, mistaking movement for progress. Understanding yourself means daring to face both your light and your shadow. It's recognizing not only what makes you strong, but also what holds you back. Many people spend years trying to fix their external world, changing jobs, relationships, or environments, without realizing that true change must begin within. You cannot master your life until you understand your mind, your emotions, and your patterns. The moment you become aware of who you truly are, you reclaim the power to shape your destiny. Think of it this way: self-awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see where you are, what's around you, and which direction to take. Without that light, you stumble, trip, and repeat the same mistakes, not because you're incapable, but because you're unaware. Awareness gives you the ability to make conscious choices instead of reactive ones. It helps you understand why you do what you do, why you procrastinate, why you doubt yourself, or why you fear change. When you can identify these inner triggers, you no longer become a prisoner of them. You take control. Every person carries a story, often shaped by experiences, beliefs, and expectations imposed by others. Self-awareness is about rewriting that story in your own words. It's about asking, what do I truly value? What kind of life do I want to live? What version of myself feels most authentic? When you take the time to answer these questions with honesty, you begin to separate who you truly are from who the world told you to be. That's where real freedom begins. And yet, self-awareness is not always comfortable. It requires humility. It asks you to acknowledge that sometimes you are the obstacle standing in your own way. It's confronting your fears, your insecurities, and your excuses, and saying, "This is me, and I'm ready to grow." That kind of honesty is rare, but it's the mark of every great achiever, because those who dare to see themselves clearly can change their direction with intention, not by chance. When you become self-aware, you begin to live with purpose. You stop drifting and start designing your life. You understand your emotions instead of being controlled by them. You recognize your strengths and use them to your advantage while working consciously on your weaknesses. You stop comparing your journey to others because you finally understand that your path is uniquely yours. And perhaps most importantly, you learn to listen to your mind, your heart, and that quiet inner voice that already knows what you're meant to become. Self-awareness is not a destination, it's a daily practice. It's checking in with yourself, asking how you feel, why you feel that way, and what you can do to grow from it. It's the willingness to evolve, to outgrow old versions of yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. Because the moment you know who you truly are, you gain the power to become who you are meant to be. Motivation can spark your journey, but discipline sustains it. It's easy to feel inspired when the energy is high, when the vision feels exciting, and when everything seems possible. But what happens when that feeling fades, when the days get hard, when fatigue sets in, or when progress slows to a crawl? That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is the force that keeps you moving forward long after the initial excitement disappears. It's the quiet, unwavering commitment to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. The truth is, motivation is emotional. It rises and falls with your mood, your environment, and your circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is deliberate. It's built through repetition, through consistency, through doing the work even on the days when your mind whispers, "Not today." Success doesn't come from how inspired you feel once in a while. It comes from what you repeatedly do when no one's watching. The great ones, the athletes, the creators, the leaders aren't just motivated, they are disciplined. They've trained themselves to act beyond emotion, to commit beyond comfort. Every morning, you have a choice. You can let your feelings dictate your actions, or you can let your purpose guide them. Discipline means choosing purpose. It's waking up early when you'd rather stay in bed. It's studying when you'd rather scroll your phone. It's saying no to distractions that promise short-term pleasure so you can focus on long-term growth. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and results, between who you are and who you're capable of becoming. There's a powerful beauty in discipline because it's not glamorous. It doesn't seek attention. It doesn't need praise. It simply shows up again and again, quietly building strength, skill, and confidence. When you commit to discipline, you begin to trust yourself. You prove to your own mind that your word means something, that when you say you'll do something, you will. That self-trust becomes one of your greatest sources of power. Because success isn't just about talent, it's about reliability, consistency, and integrity with yourself. And here's the irony. Discipline eventually gives you freedom. It might feel restrictive at first, but it's what allows you to live life on your own terms. The discipline to save money gives you financial freedom. The discipline to eat well gives you health. The discipline to work hard gives you opportunity. The discipline to say no to negativity gives you peace. Every disciplined act plants a seed that grows into a better life. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. You will fall, you will miss days, and you will make mistakes. But the disciplined mind doesn't see failure as the end. It sees it as feedback. It adjusts, it learns, it continues. That's how real growth happens, one steady, determined step at a time. In the end, it's not the loud moments of triumph that define you, but the quiet moments of discipline that no one else sees. Those early mornings, those late nights, those decisions to keep going when you could have stopped. Those are the moments that build character, strength, and resilience. Because when motivation fades, discipline remains, and that's what makes all the difference. Your mind is the command center of your life. Every action, every emotion, every result you experience begins as a single thought. The way you think determines how you see the world, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately, how far you go. Mindset is not just a part of success, it is the foundation of it. Two people can face the same situation, yet one sees an obstacle while the other sees an opportunity. The difference lies not in the event itself, but in the mindset that interprets it. Your thoughts shape your reality, And if you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think. A powerful mindset doesn't appear overnight. It's cultivated through awareness and intention. It's built in the moments when you choose to see possibility instead of limitation, growth instead of defeat. Every time you challenge a negative belief and replace it with a constructive one, you reshape the blueprint of your mind. Success begins when you start directing your thoughts instead of being directed by them. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you interpret and respond to it, and that control is where true strength lies. The human mind has extraordinary power. What you feed it becomes your reality. If you constantly dwell on fear, doubt, and scarcity, your life will reflect those emotions. But if you focus on gratitude, confidence, and resilience, your world begins to transform. The mind doesn't differentiate between imagination and experience. It simply responds to what you believe. That's why the greatest achievers train their minds just as diligently as they train their bodies. They know that mastery begins within. Every limitation you feel is first created in thought form. When you say, "I can't," you close a door that could have been opened with curiosity and effort. But when you ask, "How can I?" you invite creativity, solutions, and progress. Shifting your mindset from limitation to possibility changes everything. It transforms fear into fuel, failure into feedback, and obstacles into stepping stones. A strong mindset also requires resilience, the ability to stay centered when life tests you. There will be setbacks, rejections, and disappointments, but your mind determines whether those experiences break you or build you. When you approach challenges with the belief that they are opportunities to learn, every hardship becomes a lesson in disguise. The people who thrive are not those who avoid difficulty, but those who use it as a catalyst for growth. Training your mind means becoming intentional about your inner dialogue. The words you speak to yourself matter more than anything others say about you. Tell yourself you're capable, and you begin to act that way. Tell yourself you're resilient, and you'll find strength you never knew you had. Your internal narrative shapes your external reality, so choose your words with care and conviction. Ultimately, your mindset is your greatest investment. It determines how you show up in the world, how you handle pressure, and how you interpret success. With the right mindset, even the impossible begins to look attainable. You begin to realize that success was never about luck. It was about belief, perspective, and persistence. When your thoughts align with your vision, your actions naturally follow, and your life begins to move in the direction of your highest potential. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It lives in the moments that test you, stretch you, and challenge everything you think you know about yourself. Comfort feels good. It's predictable. It's safe. It's easy. But nothing remarkable ever grows in the soil of comfort. Every meaningful achievement in human history was born from someone's willingness to step beyond what felt familiar. The truth is, the comfort zone is where dreams quietly die, disguised as contentment. Real progress demands that you step into discomfort, that you face the unknown, and that you choose courage over ease. Think about the moments that changed you the most. They weren't the easy ones. They were the moments that forced you to grow, the times when you had to make tough choices, face rejection, or start over after a loss. Those moments were uncomfortable, but they shaped you. They revealed your strength. They showed you that you could endure more than you thought possible. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. It's the fire that forges resilience, confidence, and wisdom. When you stay within your comfort zone, you're living in a space of limitation. You're repeating the same thoughts, the same habits, the same patterns, and expecting different results. But growth requires new experiences, and new experiences come with uncertainty. You may not know what's waiting on the other side of fear, but one thing is certain: staying where you are guarantees stagnation. Every time you face discomfort and move through it, your comfort zone expands, and with it, your capacity for success. The fear of discomfort is deeply human. Our minds are wired to seek safety, to avoid pain, and to cling to what we know. But if you want to evolve, you must learn to challenge that instinct. Every time you confront fear, you weaken its grip. You prove to yourself that the things you once thought would break you can, in fact, make you stronger. It's not about being fearless, it's about acting despite fear. The most courageous people in the world don't lack fear. They've simply learned to walk with it. Discomfort also builds character. It humbles you, tests your patience, and teaches you perseverance. When things come easily, we often take them for granted. But when we work for something, when we struggle, fail, and rise again, we develop gratitude, humility, and self-respect. These qualities become the foundation for long-term success, because they remind you that every victory is earned, not given. So, embrace the discomfort that comes with growth. Let it challenge you. Let it reveal what you're capable of. You will stumble, you will question yourself, and you will be tempted to turn back, but if you push through, you'll come out transformed. On the other side of discomfort lies confidence, mastery, and self-belief. The very things you fear today will one day become the stories that define your strength. Growth asks for courage, and courage demands that you leave behind the comfort of the known to discover the power of who you can become. Resilience is the quiet force that separates those who give up from those who rise stronger after every fall. It's the ability to keep moving when the road ahead feels uncertain, to stand tall when life tries to knock you down, and to believe in your comeback even when the world counts you out. Everyone faces setbacks, disappointments, and failures, but not everyone learns how to transform them into strength. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you build through experience, through perseverance, and through the unshakable belief that every challenge holds a hidden lesson. Life will not always go according to plan. There will be moments that test your patience, break your confidence, and make you question your purpose. But it is in those moments that resilience is born. It's easy to stay positive when everything is working in your favor. It's what you do when things fall apart that defines your true character. Resilience is choosing to stand back up, no matter how many times you've been knocked down. It's refusing to let hardship define you, and instead allowing it to refine you. Every obstacle you face is an invitation to grow stronger. The pain you feel today is not meant to destroy you, it's meant to prepare you. Each struggle is shaping your mindset, sharpening your endurance, and deepening your wisdom. When you face adversity, you have two choices. You can surrender to it or rise because of it. The resilient choose the latter. They use every setback as fuel, every failure as feedback, and every delay as an opportunity to develop patience and perspective. Resilience doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging the struggle, allowing yourself to feel it, and then deciding to move forward anyway. It's about adapting, adjusting, and finding a way to keep going when circumstances shift. Life's most resilient people are not untouched by hardship. They simply refuse to let hardship define the limits of their future. They understand that storms are temporary, but the strength gained from surviving them lasts forever. When you build resilience, you begin to see challenges differently. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "What is this teaching me?" That small shift in perspective changes everything. Suddenly, failure becomes a stepping stone instead of a dead end. Rejection becomes redirection. Pain becomes purpose. Resilient people understand that setbacks are not signs to stop, but signs to grow. The path to becoming your best self will not be easy. It will demand courage, patience, and relentless faith in your ability to endure. But the reward is worth it, because resilience gives you something far greater than comfort. It gives you power. The power to rise after defeat, the power to rebuild after loss, the power to believe again after disappointment. And with every comeback, you discover that your limits were never real. They were just points where resilience was waiting to be born. Your future is being built right now, not by what you plan to do someday, but by what you repeatedly do today. Every small decision, every habit, every choice you make is shaping the person you are becoming. Success is not the result of one monumental act, it's the product of consistent effort, repeated over time. The habits you nurture each day are the quiet architects of your destiny. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Think of your habits as seeds. Each action you take, no matter how small, plants something in the soil of your life. You may not see the results immediately, but over time, those seeds grow into the fruits of your character, your achievements, and your peace of mind. The problem is, most people underestimate the power of small actions. They believe that greatness requires grand gestures, forgetting that consistency beats intensity every time. A single workout won't make you strong, but daily discipline will. One act of focus won't make you successful, but daily dedication will. Your habits determine your direction. They either move you closer to your goals or pull you quietly away from them. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, and effort over excuses, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. The results may not appear immediately, but transformation is taking place beneath the surface. Success is rarely dramatic. It's subtle, built in silence, revealed only through persistence. The greatest achievers in any field understand this truth deeply. They've trained their minds to honor routine, to respect structure, and to show up even when they don't feel like it. They know that consistency compounds. Each day of effort builds upon the last, creating momentum that turns small habits into lasting change. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes automatic. What once required discipline becomes part of who you are. That's the beauty of habit, it turns effort into instinct. But habits don't just shape your actions, they shape your identity. When you commit to positive daily routines, you start to see yourself differently. You begin to identify as someone who follows through, someone who honors commitments, someone who takes pride in progress. That shift in self-perception is powerful because your identity drives your behavior. Once you see yourself as disciplined, motivated, and capable, your actions naturally align with that belief. Developing empowering habits takes patience and persistence. You will face days when you fall short, when old patterns tempt you back, when progress feels invisible. But that's where true growth happens, in those quiet moments of choice. Do you give up because it's hard, or do you keep going because it matters? The answer to that question determines everything. Your habits are the daily expression of your commitment to becoming your best self. They are proof of your priorities, reflections of your mindset, and the foundation of your future. The life you dream of isn't waiting to appear someday, it's being built in every decision you make. Every morning you wake up, and every moment you choose to do what others won't. In the end, success is simply the accumulation of small, consistent actions driven by purpose and persistence. Success starts with you.